hello, 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 my Scorpio collective sun, moon, rising signs. Welcome to your What Do I Need read for this full moon to new moon next December 2019. I am your reader, Mark Angelo Lyons, Mal for short, parent of 3 black boy kitty cats who are raising heaven in my living room while I'm doing this. President of DrawingTheCircle Productions, professional witch, professional intuitive, and damn Skippy, happy to be here working for you today. If you are new to my channel, please do like and subscribe. I'm shooting for that 1,000 subscriber mark so that I can do super live chat, and I even did a video called Clarifying Drunk Tarot, a promise I made to my subscribers that once a month for the first couple of months, we'll see how it goes. I'll do something called Drunk Tarot, and if you're interested in what that is, check the description box. There's a lot of good stuff down there, but you will see that video. I think, I just recorded it yesterday. Other than that, let's get down to a little business here. My subscribers, of course, welcome back. This is a What Do I Need read, which is sort of like picking a card of the day, but instead of saying, okay, what is my totem for the day or my tarot for the day, it's going to the divine and saying, well, what do I need, right? Like, I know I need to get shit done. Like today, I needed to run errands in the pouring rain. I went food shopping. I made soup. My past life son Anthony came over for lunch. I cooked for him. He's been feeling sick, right? Knew I had to do at least 3 of these videos today. This is the second of 3. But my gods, what do I need today, right? My angels, my masters, going to the divine via a system of divination, right? So keep an open mind. You never know what's going to happen. It's only 5 cards, one from 5 different decks. All the decks that I read are at the bottom of the description box below, as well as my book Words of Grace, which I have taken $10 off, so it is now $14.95 ebook, but it's like way over 300 pages. It's a really, really lovely book. Was writing it this time last year, launched it last Yule, winter solstice, so I figured drop the price for the month of December so people can check it out. It's been really helpful for a lot of people to go read the reviews, just to say that I give good description box, Virgo, that I am. Please keep in mind this is a general read. It's not supposed to fit everybody. That's why I always do at least sun, moon, rising signs, particularly with the What Do I Needs, because they're relatively quick, so that you can check other puzzle pieces in your other signs and placements. But, you know, don't try too hard to make things fit. You're looking for physical body resonance, right? When you hear a piece of information, what is it doing? Like, even if it goes, huh, like that, that's still an intuitive response. It's usually not your read when it goes, right? Just like, meh, right? Just so keep that in mind. Even if you get triggered, there's something there, right? There's some piece of information, and believe me, the prayers that I do, blessing the decks before I hit record, it is that these be truly helpful for whoever watches them. Cool? So just so you know, they're general reads. You want a private read with me? Easy enough to book. Description box. What else? One last thing, please remember to breathe. So important that you consciously breathe whenever you're doing anything of a divinatory nature, whether you're giving a reading, whether you're receiving a reading, to be in the present moment, to breathe the prana and the chi through which all guidance and grace comes anyway, right? So you'll hear me say several times during the read, most likely, breathe. That's for me, because it's my guides telling me to breathe, so that the energy can flow. Because where is it coming from? It's coming from the divine, the chi, the prana, the reiki, the shmeki, the eggs, the bakey, whatever you want to call it. So the more you consciously breathe that in, grace for the self, grace for all of life, right? Then you're actually tuning to the very energy that this reading is coming from. Isn't that lovely? And you can do that with anything. Shall we? Breathe. Oh, here we go. Locked on for my Scorpios. Oh, my collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved. Please, one card, one Caroline Mace archetype card for this Scorpio collective sun, moon, rising sign, this full moon to new moon next December 2019. It's only going to be full moon for like a hot second, then it goes void of course. And then we are doing Dark Moon, the 23rd, 24th, and 25th, right through the Christmas holiday, with New Moon on the 26th, and that's New Moon in Capricorn. So it can be very tricky. So please, for the Scorpios in particular, my collective pantheons, what's the dominant archetype that this Scorpio collective sun, moon, rising sign needs to be aware of within themselves, within another, within in life, for this full moon to new moon waning moon phase December 2019. The Prince. It seems like these same archetype cards keep popping up for these reads, considering how many of them there are. I have the Prince archetype lifelong, very familiar with it. We'll get to it, but let's just say one of my personal favorites. Definitely the masculine family of archetypes. So we will have a look at that. Just to say that there is often a touch of romance, Prince Charming in its light, but it can also be the Prince of Darkness in the shadow. So we will get to that. Let's lay out all 5 cards before I dive headlong into an archetypal gestalt, which I could get lost in very easily, particularly if it's one that I already have. And I do. Yes, I have a touch of the Prince Charming archetype. I'm definitely a prince in my family structure, not a king. And my romantic charms work as Prince Charming, but mostly on women and completely unintentional. And, you know, it's not, power isn't always, superpowers aren't always what you expect them to be. Right? Ask Justice League Dark, which I would be a member if they would return my calls. So please breathe. We're going to ask the angels now. Same thing, my angels, please. 1 card in clarity. Madam Xanadu, thank you so very much. Unfortunately, I don't have the leg warmers and the roller skates to back that up. My angels, please. 1 card in clarity for this Scorpio collective, Sun, Moon, Rising Sign. What do they need for this full moon to new moon next, considering they are dealing with the Prince archetype dominant within the time period? Well, surrender and release. There we go. Now, surrender and release means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. Right? Like, let go, let it go, Marge, let it go. Well, if Marge could fucking let it go, she would let go. So what does actually surrender mean? Well, there is active surrender and passive surrender. Active surrender is when you say, all right, God, Goddess, Zeus, Buddha, Jesus, Zan, Jaina, whoever, whatever, I accept. I do not know how to let this go. So I invoke the power of the universe, the divine, to work through me, to do it on my behalf. Let go of what needs to be let go of. Leave me no option but to let it go. Show me how to do it for the well-being of all that I am now, and so it is. It's practically a spell that does itself. But that's called active surrender. That's like, you want me to surrender? I surrender to whatever it is that I have to do to move through this. And in this case so far, to alchemize the lead to gold in the Prince archetype. We'll get there, right? So it just annoys me sometimes when I see surrender and release, like it's so fucking easy, right? Sometimes you really have to ask the divine to take all your options away. It terrifies the ego. The ego feels like it misses out on everything once it starts losing options, but you realize the only thing that's left when your options are removed is the divine plan, is the highest good of all concerned, and it's usually the last thing you want to do. You know, Caroline Mace, the one who makes those archetype cards, there's this meme of hers that's been going around for decades. Do the thing that scares you the most, because that's the thing that will make your soul grow. It's really the truth. Right? So surrender and release. Passive surrender is, well, just sit here on the couch and see what happens, which sometimes is necessary too. Right? So let's get you a little bit more clarity. By the way, this was Healing with the Angels Oracle, Doreen Virtue. Let's ask the Daughters of the Moon Tarot, Fiona Morgan. My gods and my goddesses, please. 1 card in clarity, a tarot. Breathe. For this Scorpio, there we go, collective. Sun, Moon, Rising Sign for this full moon to new moon next. Very Scorpion, right? That waning to dark part of the moon. Darkest part of the year, we will cross over into Yule, the rebirth of the sun. 0 degrees Capricorn on the 21st. So we're really in the darkest part of the year, solar and lunar. So please, 1 card, my gods, please clarify. What does this Scorpio collective need for this full moon to new moon next? Not the first time this has come up this time around. The card of Pan, the Emperor. There is a lot of divine masculine energy going on here. Now, that shouldn't shock me for any particular reason. Yeah, Scorpio technically is a water sign, feminine energy, but here we're looking at a masculine family prince archetype with the card of the Emperor, often considered to be the amalgamation of all 4 kings in the tarot. So we're gonna kind of see how all of this gels together, particularly with that card of surrender and release, because that can really be talking about, you know, surrender and release for the Emperor, that's not something native to the Emperor, right? They are about control, they are about systems, but in this deck in particular, it is balanced, it is healthy masculine energy, supportive, loving, open-hearted, clear mind. Pan, the god Pan, definitely the divine masculine, although horny, goaty, face of nature, right? The divine masculine face of nature. So what we're going to do to get some clarity on that is we're going to use the Chuck Spezzano Love Pack, Baby Love Pack. Love, baby, that's where it's at, yeah. No, I'm not a professional Fred Schneider impersonator, but maybe someday. You know, voiceover work, you never know who's going to see you on YouTube. I've got 10,000 voices. I was raised by a nursery school teacher. Let's ask the Ascended Masters to speak through this Chuck Spezzano Love Pack. Please breathe for me, my Scorpios. Ah, there we go. Oh, really? Sip of coffee? I'm allowed to have a sip of coffee from... Oh, you can't see it this way because she's on this side. It's my Princess Diana Wonder Mug. You know, people find out you like something every Christmas, every birthday, everything. My Masters, please, one card in clarity for this Scorpio collective sun, moon, rising sign. What do they need this full moon to new moon next? What do they need to focus on? What do they need to address? Considering we've got the Prince archetype and the Emperor with surrender and release, something feels not weird, not off, but interesting. Even my second and third chakra, my sacrum and my solar plexus are going a little, wah, wah. What's going on here? So please clarify this for me, my Masters. Well, that's good. The card of laughter. So that surrender and release might very well be, considering it's the holidays, to sort of surrender and release a lot of the control, right? A lot of the protocol, a lot of the, you know, the thing about the Emperor and the Prince is they're both members of the court, right? So systems and processes and protocols and red tape and parliamentary procedure and manners. Now, not to chuck it all out the window, but with that card of laughter, that definitely brings a lovely lightness to this situation, some levity, some brevity, particularly with that card of surrender and release, right? It's sort of like, which is good for waning moon. I mean, that is exactly what we want to be doing in any sort of waning side of any cycle, right? Letting go, surrendering and releasing, going with the flow. Go get a massage, go laugh your ass off. Like, you know, my work day to day can be very intensive, both my own personal work with the divine, mystical shit, which is sometimes being dragged through the belly of the underworld across salted, broken glass and barbed wire. Not easy, feeling the pain, allowing it to destroy and transform whenever it needs to be destroyed and transformed within the psyche. Not fun. But then I'll put on like Netflix and who have I been watching? Eliza Schlesinger. That bitch makes me laugh. I love her. She's fine. I shouldn't call her a bitch. But I don't know if she's a witch. I don't know. She fucking cracked me the fuck up. So that laughter to keep it in balance that way. So if you are a Scorpio who's had his or her plate full here, to really take the time that you do need to surrender and release to balance this. But since we got one more card, let's find out for sure by asking the Whispers of Love Oracle card here. Higher selves of all involved, please breathe. Feels so good. It's like instant vacation. Oh, the higher selves of all involved, please. One card in clarity. This one for this Scorpio collective sun, moon, rising sign. What do they need this full moon to new moon next? Have patience. Love is patience and kind always. This begins to make more sense. Going back to our first card, the Prince archetype. Every archetype is neutral, though it has definition in shadow and light. I just prefer to say lead and gold. It's the language of alchemy. Way more comfortable with it. The shadow attribute, using power for self-aggrandizement. Now, there's a word you don't hear that often. Aggrandizement, self-aggrandizement. Using your power in a shadowy way, in a way that you wouldn't want people to know about in order to make yourself look bigger, greater than you actually are. It's essentially putting up a front, usually to do something shady, right? boasting things that aren't true, right? Using your friends and your connections and who you know instead of relying upon what you know. It's true. Sometimes it's not what you know, it's who you know. Sometimes it doesn't matter who you know. It's all about what you know, and the gods really want to know. What do you know? What do you know? What do you know? So we know that in the shadow. We see that in politics. We see that in society. You know, when we say somebody's a prince, right? I go, oh, he's such a prince, right? It's like usually a good character, but can they be a prince of darkness, right? Can they be a prince with a hidden agenda? Are you that, Scorpio? Are you that in this situation, or are you dealing with some? Now, keep in mind, just because it is a masculine family archetype does not mean a woman cannot have the prince archetype. I know plenty of men who have the princess archetype in spades. So let's be clear, this is not about bodily gender. So let's look at the light archetype, right? Because everybody wants to puff up their chest in certain situations. But if it's something that you would never want anybody to know about, that you're lying or that you're using your power to kind of make yourself look more than what you are, I mean, first dates aside, you know what I'm saying? I'm not feeling that here anyway. In fact, with this card of laughter, it's almost like laugh at yourself. Will you please just stop taking yourself so damn seriously? The light attribute, romantic charm and potential for power, right? Nothing wrong with having that potential to power. I haven't quite reached it yet, but my God, I can be radiant with it. And that romantic charm. Now, romantic charm, look for salesmen who have it, right? It's like they make you fall in love with a fucking refrigerator, right? Salespeople, sorry, salesman, salesperson, right? Somebody who has some kind of love for what they do or passion for what they do, that's a masculine energy. That's action, that's like thought, that's communication, all the stuff coming from the soul outwards. Remember, divine feminine is taking it into the soul. Divine masculine is projecting outward, well, expressing, I should say, outward from the soul, projecting. How the word projection has so many psychological connotations, don't want to go there. So then we see here now a prince in release, right? A prince in surrender, one sort of letting go of the facade, letting go and showing his natural charm, showing his natural potential to power, even if it's not all the way at the top of the mountain, where, you know, now with this card of the Emperor in my hand, that the power there is real. There is a divine masculine energy within this Scorpio energy field. And look, if you're a cross-watcher, then you know who I'm talking about here if it's not you. But if you're not sure if this is you, maybe that's the point, that you don't see yourself as potentially powerful, that you could be an emperor. And an emperor, by the way, rules over kings, right? Nothing higher than an emperor, at least in the tarot, right? So absolutely, that you may have a lot of responsibility, you may have a lot of people that depend on you, but that surrender of and release of saying, but allow yourself as well to have the fun, the joy, because the prince doesn't usually have as much responsibility as a king or certainly an emperor. It's not an empire. A prince rules what? A principality. So look that up. What's a principality? It's certainly not as big as a kingdom, and it's certainly a tiny part of an empire, right? Because what do we have with this? Just laugh, right? Enjoy yourself, laugh. Now, there are different types of laughter, obviously. There is that derisive, self-effacing, scarring, almost abusive humor that, let's just face it, I was spoon-fed as a child, and I love that shit to this day. Still makes me laugh. I mean, Chelsea Handler is my spirit animal. I fucking love her. We actually have a lot of we have one important astrological thing in common. Her Pisces sun is the exact same degree as my Pisces moon. That's why occasionally I'll call myself the Chelsea Handler of witchcraft. I fucking adore her, right? But that sense of humor, that is a communication of my soul. It makes me laugh. Is it dark? Yeah. Is it sarcastic as fuck? Yeah. But I'm telling you, My Horizontal Life, great book. Great book, My Horizontal Life. She wrote, did I resonate? Talk about a body memory, full fucking flashback, right? So laugh. Look back at the year and laugh at your mistakes. Laugh at your hubris. Laugh at your greed. Laugh at all the plans of mice and men. Because then with this card, your higher self saying, stay patient. You will get there. You will be the emperor. You were meant to be male or female embodiment. Doesn't matter. Your mission that you came in to accomplish, maybe you took major steps towards it this year that you have no idea about. So to surrender and release to the flow, say, fine, I know that I don't know. What I need to do is surrender and laugh here because I did the best that I could. Everybody is. And then I will have patience, right? Have patience. Love is patient and kind. Then it has a dash and says, always, with an exclamation point. So I am going to be patient and kind with myself. I'm even going to be patient and kind to the voices in me that are impatient and unkind, that I should have won, and it should have been, and it wasn't, and I'm just this and just that. And to, sure, let those voices be heard within you, but understand that underneath that voice there is a child in your heart chakra, that inner child that hears all of it and believes all of it, and that you be patient with that child too, and you tell that child, doesn't matter how fucking long it takes, I love you. There are no mistakes in the quantum field. There are just options and decisions and probabilities. And everything is helping everything else. And the divine plan is self-correcting. And if there's something that the gods, the higher power, really wants us to do into this life, we will surrender. We will surrender and release ourselves into that. And we're going to laugh along the way as we manifest our potential power and our romantic charm to be that emperor. But we've got to do it with patience for ourselves. And that's the kind of thing that really only you can give you. Yes, it's nice when other people have faith in you and are patient with you always. But to do that for yourself, that's just going to drop your cortisol levels. It's going to drop your stress level. And that's going to make your journey for this last really full moon to new moon of not just the year 2019, but of the decade. Something where you will be able to start anew with that foundation of patience and laughter, not taking yourself so seriously, but being charming as fuck. And who doesn't want to be charming as fuck? I do. I am charming as fuck. Thank you very much. So may the Scorpio collective sun, moon, rising signs be blessed with all that they need this holiday season, this full moon to new moon next, to heal, to grow, to become the best that this world can handle, of them to be what they incarnated to be when they were born, for the well-being of all, fulfilling their role in the divine plan. And so it is. Thank you so much for watching, my Scorpios. Please do like, subscribe, share, hit the notification buttons, comment below, you know, the whole 9 yards, and help me reach my goal for that 1,000 subscriber Drunk Tarot. And I will do super live chat a couple of times a week. And I will always do my best to make sure it is fun and truly helpful for the well-being of all. And so it is. Wishing you the very best and the very blessed. But for now, my darlings, hail, farewell, and blessed be.